You know what? Talking about talking about Charlize Theron. Let's go into the last Fate trailer. Wow. I mean, above and beyond, these guys are going. Uh, I don't even know what to say about this movie. Um, so you're two-part eight in a series that keeps getting bigger and bigger every film, and it should be a surprise to no one that the point we're at in the Fast and the Furious series is it's pretty much like watching a superhero film at this point. And I mean, to me, that's okay. It really is. I mean, I've never really taken these movies like terribly seriously anyway, and I don't think anybody should. I mean, they're hugely, impractical and unrealistic. I mean, that's not why we go to see these films. We go to see these films because we want to see awesome action and cars crashing and racing and fast stuff and testosterone and and you know, it looks like the entire cast of this film is coming back, obviously. And in my previous trailer review to this, I was kind of worried that they were going to make Jason Statham one of the good guys, and he's going to be like, okay, and yeah, that pretty much looks like that's the way we're going. So, eh, it's lame on the one hand, but on the other hand, it's Jason Statham, and he's going to be part of the team, and I'm not going to argue with watching Jason Statham in a big action film. The hacking thing, they're continuing on with the hacking thing, which they started in part 7, and the invasive nature of technology, and how far are we willing to just give up our freedoms and give up our privacy for the sake of convenience and technology and cool gadgets. And especially in light of recent revelations of the CIA shenanigans, makes the movies, it actually, they have an underpinning of relevance that you don't really expect to see right off the bat out of the Fast and Furious franchise, but they are actually almost subversively trying to say something to the audience. And cars that drive themselves, there's been a big push for that here lately in tech industries, where they really, really, really want you to let the cars drive for you. And you can watch a film like this and think it's silly and write it off, but at the same time, you've got to go, well, that people can hack into any type of software, and do you really, really want a car that somebody can hack and take over? Especially in light, again, of the CIA files that say that that's how they do covert assassinations. Isn't that wonderful? But don't want to get off into that. But I'm just saying that I I'm kind of impressed, with these bigger budgeted films that are trying to, they're going the extra mile and actually trying to say something to the audience and not just entertain, and but do it in an entertaining way and do it in a relevant way to the story, and just kind of postulate a little bit in the same way that the Terminator series, 1 and 2, especially, pose the question of how far do you want to let AI go, and it doesn't seem that many people watch these films and take that to heart here lately. But it's true. There are risks involved, and you really need to consider them. I'm excited to see Fast and Furious 8. I don't know if you've caught the F8 Fate. Get it? Fate. The fate of the Furious. But I know that most of you are probably excited to see it. This is a huge franchise now. It's just a massive juggernaut. And will it make as much money as Part 7? That's highly unlikely. I think that the unfortunate death of Paul Walker kind of made that its own entity, much in the same way as the death of Heath Ledger kind of gave The Dark Knight a little extra propulsion. I mean, that movie was fantastic anyway. It would have done great anyway. But with the death of one of the stars lingering over it, it just kind of gave it an extra gravity. And I think, especially what they went through to finish Fast and Furious 7, it gave it that extra push. Because the movie itself wasn't that great. And I mean, it was good and it was entertaining, but the tone of it was weird, and You know, I mean, and this is not even, talking about the changes that they had to make because of Paul Walker's death. I actually think what they pulled off was exceptionally good, considering the trouble and the heartache and all that they went through to see the film through to the finish. Oh, and Lucas Black is in this one. I like that. Lucas Black was the star of Fast and Furious 3, Tokyo Drift, which it gets a lot of hate from people, but I actually watched that movie with zero expectations on video when that came out, because I was honestly kind of underwhelmed with Fast and Furious 2, and I watched 3 just out of sheer boredom and curiosity, and was very surprised at the amount of heart and skill that was in it. And I think a lot of that is due to Justin Lin, who went on to direct every Fast and Furious movie up till 6. And he should really get a lot of the credit for building this series up to where it is now. And it'll be interesting to see if if F. Gary Gray and whoever comes after him can keep that pace up.